New baked oatmeal just dropped. It's a truly diabolical combination. My hair is ugly as shit. Shout out to my shower. It is a truly diabolical combination. Because I just had a bunch of random shit in my fridge that I needed to get rid of. So I threw together like a fucking garbage can baked oatmeal with sunflower seeds, toasted coconut, orange and bourbon marmalade, and peanut butter. So yeah, it kind of tastes like nothing. Wow. That is remarkably flavorless. I don't know what I really expected. Sometimes you get like a little jelly pocket and it tastes okay. Yeah, this is some depressing shit right here. It's not bad. It just doesn't taste particularly good either. Struggle meals, pretty much, yeah. This is a very sad rendition of a baked oatmeal, I think. Well, at least I got rid of a bunch of shit out of my fridge, so I'm pretty happy. Let's play some Red Bull. I need music. I need to set up my OBS. I need to get my life together. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? My wet ball is broken. Bam. Look at that. Ain't she a beaut? Alright. Yeah, let's just play. Nothing too serious about it. I don't know if there's something I did. Is there something I wanted to talk about? I can't remember if there's something I wanted to talk about. There might have been. It's probably been lost to the sands of time. I finally got some decent sleep. Why did I start peaking? What? I fucked with my audio settings after stream yesterday. So I have some weird. My audio sounds probably different. I don't know if it's like a good different or a bad different. Might have fucking jacked my gain a little bit much. I don't know how it's possible for me to peak. This would be shocking. I figured out that my compressor was too hard. It was actually super hard. My compressor was crazy. So I turned down my compressor. And I think it's going to sound better. My voice should be less compressed now. A little bit more free-flowing. I don't know if I'm louder. Maybe I should listen to my own voice. You know what? I can do this. I have the power. I didn't do any testing of this. I'm just like, oh, this looks pretty good. I'm sure it won't go horribly wrong. Do tell. Hold on. I'm gonna listen to my own stream really quick. You didn't see? No, I don't fucking follow the server, dude. I don't know what you want from me. I don't play there. Let's listen. I wonder how I sound. Hello? Let's listen. I wonder how I sound. Oh, I sound pretty good. Maybe a little bit crispy, or a little bit. But I guess that's just the nature of the phone audio. Shut up, me. All right. It's also Mother's Day. I have to text my mom. Ah, I need to text my mom. What am I doing? I gotta text my dear mother, my sweet mother. Thanks for that. No, I appreciate that. Ever heard of summarization? Paraphrasing, maybe? Bam. I'm a good son. I texted my mom. I'm a good son. That's right. Oh, you text your moms. Or message them. Or even just call them. Be an even better son. Or daughter. Got godlike powers and... What do you mean by godlike powers? Like, did he hack? What? Okay, how am I peaking, by the way? I gotta check my fucking properties. How am I fucking... How could I possibly be peaking? What? What? I don't understand how that's possible. You sound like a crazy person right now. A black sphere and it was able to one-shot everything. What do you mean by one-shot everything? There. I turned up the aggressiveness of my compressor a little bit. What do I have it set on, I wonder? When does it start to hit? It starts to hit at -10. I'll turn it up to like -12. There we go. Should be a little bit more of an aggressive compressor, so I don't have to worry about peaking too much. I do have that limiter, and I turned up my limiter a little bit harder, so then if something gets really loud, my limiter will just cut everything. What? Is that like some crazy glitch or something? They're not able to fix it? How? Said they fixed it. That's really funny. Who was it? Can I ask? Would I know them? Zilla. Okay, I wouldn't know them. That's really funny. Oh, TGK? I feel like I've seen that name. Yeah, that's really funny. Alright, my 3 is great. Love that. I can always use like a millennia of 6 practice. That's really funny. Well, you know, that's cool. How many people are there normally? Or at least when you're online? What's like the average player count? That's pretty good. 5 is not bad. Man, no 6 today. What's happening? Well, I think people are more likely to get bored. At least there's a decent amount of hardcore players that are like a little bit more invested. During weekends, probably, yeah. People got shit to do. I'm not mad. I forget why I hate this fucking coconut. It gets stuck in your teeth, or my teeth. My white ass teeth. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. I should clarify. My teeth. Mine. I don't know how I peaked there. Does my limiter not work? What's going on? How am I still peaking? That has happened. This has happened. I gotta check my fucking my release. I dropped my fucking release time. We'll see if that works. I've gotten a lot of shit stuck in my teeth that probably shouldn't be stuck in teeth. I'm not normal, okay? Wow. Utonium and Fluxion are both moderators on the server. Or moderators in, Progeny in general. Or Fluxion? Fluxion's not a mod. Utonium is a mod. Fluxion is a known player. He's always leading some fucking tribe. Fluxion has way too much time and he's always leading some fucking tribe. In every single fucking parables, everything. He's always leading some fuck-ass tribe. Every time, bro. Bro's always leading somebody. Why do you ask? You got some problems, MJ? What's going on, Majay? Any work on their builds because of the Common server? That's funny. They are tryhards, so I won't put it past them to pre-jack some shit. I've been visited by Kyle67894. The legend himself, are you kidding me? Could it be? I know many Kyles, or I've known many Kyles in my life. I feel like everybody knows a Kyle or two. Maybe it's just my generation. I'm Kyle from your Squid Game stream. That happened millennia ago. I cannot remember. I do so many streams, my guy. I've played Squid Game many a time. So I assume you were great. If you haven't been banned yet, you were probably fantastic. Don't worry. You were probably fantastic. What hits better than that? A nice beer? Yeehaw is what I say. Alright, at least I can play level 6 now without having to... The problem is I was tapping too fast. I just gotta let off the gas a little bit, and I'm home free. I'm clicking my buttons too fast for the frame perfect. So I end up missing it, which is really funny. That's why practice makes perfect, ladies and gentlemen. Because every day is a little bit different. Sometimes you're a little bit faster, sometimes you're a little bit slower. So just being ready for those changes with a little bit of practice. Oh, baby. Now we're cooking with fire. Norox with the rate of 8. Thank you for the raid, my brother. I hope your running went well. If you were running. If you weren't running, then I hope whatever else you did went well, potentially. Of all the many activities you could have been doing, I hope they all went well. We're gonna make it happen, baby. I have full belief that by the end of next week, we're gonna make it to level 11 on pace. I have full faith in that. It will happen. It's just a question of when, and it's also a question of how many times it's going to happen. To boss? That's not bad. How variable is boss? Is boss like the level 11 of Red Ball 4? Well, you know what? That makes sense. Hey, you can't be mad about that, I guess. Me as I attempt the very achievable milestone. 20-something times and I still haven't hit a full boss. Yeah, that sounds about right. I know what the boss carry thing means. I've seen that before. Very difficult strategy, I hear. Thank you for the follow. What's your name? Divided by 0? I appreciate that, big man. Bam. Level 6 is so funny. I get the boss like 2 or 3 times in a sesh. 2 or 3 times in a sesh, that's not bad. To have that many attempts at it is like super, I'd say super good. Are you kidding me? That sounds phenomenal. I wish I could have that kind of attempts. Don't get that many on a bad day. Bro, I wish I could get fucking 1 attempt to level 11. I wish I could get 1 attempt. Just give me 1 shot at it, bro. Continues in a multi-game run. Very true. Have you, how much time do you spend practicing? Or do you just kind of just go for, like, full run attempts? I don't know how that works. I don't know how much individual level practice really means in a game that's as continuous as, like, Red Ball 4 is, right? Because what happens in one level affects the other level, so it's like, it becomes a little bit more, like, tricky, I guess. Something save states, I assume. Level 6 is feeling okay today. I guess okay is the best it's ever really gonna feel, if we're being serious. Stupid fuck-ass piece of coconut. I hate it. Why did I have to buy the coconut flakes that were shredded? Why couldn't I get the ones that were flaked? I just had to get the shredded ones. My big ass fucking beaver teeth, bro. Can't handle it. I need the world's biggest toothpick or something. I don't know. Two, 3 hours? Yeah, okay, you're crazy. That's why you're goated. That makes sense. Why is he so good? I wonder how he's getting so many world record attempts. I found out. I discovered the reason why. Jesus Christ. Me? I could never. I'm too employed for this kind of behavior. Too employed and I have too many hobbies. A real tragedy. I mean, yeah, it's summer vacation soon. I've been seeing all the posts on, like, TikTok and shit. People talk about getting out of school. I'm like, wow. Imagine that. Nothing changes. It's just I'm doing my job, but everything's hotter now. It's funny how that works. That's not it. I saw that little bounce. That's not it. Yep. I really just gotta slow it the hell down. Look at that. Ain't that beautiful? It is beautiful. Oh man, I love when it's beautiful. Like when the flowers bloom. I'd like to do a little bit more 11 practice today, I think. Level 10 and 11, I think, are the both levels. Because it feels like 7 and 8 have been very good to me recently. 7 especially. Ever since I started practicing 7. I've just been able to get it. And it's like, it's just been so nice to just hit 11 and be like, damn, I'm not mega behind. Or I didn't miss the first frame perfect, so I don't feel like shit. It's like, wow. It just feels great, man. Just to have that sound cue. Oh, boy. Ain't nothing like getting a good 11. My music is a little bit hot, I think. Gamer Pit. Practice and more attempts. It's always better. Yeah, exactly. But that's no fun, okay? Problem is I stream both, okay? I said I would I'm going to stream every second of my playing of Red Ball. And that has been true so far. I have not done a single hour of practice outside of the confines of this stream. This is real organic progress, okay? Towards a goal that's actually been a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But hey. Improvement, baby. Fuck. Yeah, that was way too hot. Should I have jumped there? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I tend to find that after like an hour and a half, I'd go fucking crazy from attempts. Red Ball is just one of those games where it's like going for attempts is just, it will make you go insane, bro. Because you get so many attempts in such a short period of time. It's why I've made myself do 2 hours of practice. It's easier for me at least because like at least I just get to like yap in between. But like yapping during actual attempts kind of sucks. That's why I like to practice so much. Better for the content, I think. Or at least like, it is kind of just like a first hour. First hour of the sheep stream is always the best hour. Because that's when I'm at my most talkative, I guess. As we go down, the sheep stream slowly gets less and less coherent until we're just kind of like a sobbing mess of nothingness. Not bad. A slower boxes leads to a faster ending. Funny how that works. Now that is about as fast as the boxes you can get. So try to hit the hard path, and if you don't, you know, cry about it. But I hit the hard path, so we're balling. You love to see it. You love to see it. It's nice that I'm just consistently hitting that path, like, way more. Just, like, I don't know, ever since I don't know if somebody told it to me or I just figured it out, but just, like, the jump before the flag into this long jump has been, like, the savior of level 7. It's the reason why I am so consistent. It's that and finding out about the sound cue for the frame perfect. Man, after those two discoveries, bro, level 7 has been It's been juice, bro. I just feel like a consistency goblin on 7. Like even more so than like something like 6, which used to be like I used to get 6 way more than 7, but now that I have all this tech on 7, it feels like fucking amazing. The real challenge is level 8, and level 8 is like, well, you know, it's level 8. Whenever I don't get the so nice. So yeah, it's basically just 8 and 9 that are real big problems. I think 7 can be added to the category of like 3, 6 of just like I need minimal practice to get the most value out of that level. That's just how good I've gotten at level 7, which is great. Because like even like a week ago, it was like level 7 was again the bane of my existence, and now we're chilling. We get decent boxes most of the time. We're gonna hit the frame perfect. We even hit the hard strat more than not. Sometimes we gotta go slow, but we can adapt on the fly. It's great. All good things, lads. All good things. What else was I thinking about? Not really. Whenever it's Sunday, Sunday is like the day that I don't think at all. I'm just mindlessly watching fucking YouTube videos. I'm mindlessly watching YouTube videos while cooking. Is all it is. And it's the most boring cooking ever. It is. My cooking is not interesting at all, okay? Shit is not exciting. Shit is not... my cooking is not exciting. I cook the same shit for weeks and weeks and weeks, okay? And I'm like, this is great. I'm having a great time. Sub 3 attempts. I got so many shallow jumps at the last jump. I got so pissed off. I used Mug 7. That's crazy. That's the funny thing. I only know one strategy for every level. I know a single strategy, and if it fails, then I'm fucked. I cannot first frame. I cannot do first frame acceleration, or at least consistency, or at least consistently. I cannot do first frame acceleration. I know one strat. Okay, I stuck my whole hog in the damn thing, and you know what? If that blender turns on, it's gonna be bad. But you know, I've just committed. So, like, literally when I get to level 11, I legitimately have a single chance at level 11. I have the first frame acceleration, and then after that, it's actually cooked. And that's something I have to live with. Because I just don't want to practice first frame acceleration, because I cannot make it consistent. And I have no way of fucking telling if I hit it or not. And I'm not gonna try. So fuck it, we ball. A single God-fearing attempt at 11 every single time. Which means if we ever get it in a run... I've gotten to 11 3 times in a run. All of them were not on pace. I got the, what's it called? Bird P? Or P-Bird, or whatever the fuck we call it. I got it one time. And I fucked it up at the very end because I did the I did the easy part badly. Really funny. If you have bad pulling rate, everything everything is bad pulling rate, okay? Frame perfects are bad pulling rate, okay? I don't care. Fuck it. Me and my goddamn laptop are gonna be fine. I'm not gonna cry about it, okay? Again, me getting a sub 3 compared to like the gamers of yesteryear going for sub 3, I have so many advantages going for sub 3 compared to all the other fucking gamers that have had to go for sub 3, okay? I am blessed with the knowledge and learnings of many. And also, I just had an entire community help teach me how to fucking do this shit, by the way. Whenever I, like, on my streams fucking learning how to do sub 3 strats, I had fucking, like, a bunch of, like, high-end runners just in my chat being like, hey, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, here's how you do this. It's, like, crazy. I jumped in Discord calls with the fucking pros to tell me what the fuck I'm doing wrong. It was great. I am blessed. So, if I'm really gonna bitch and moan about a bad keyboard, then that's just a skill issue. Live and in living color, it's a skill issue. Not me not being able to hit the frame perfect. That having, yeah, it's nice to have that shit documented, but there's like, there's a difference between like knowing how to do the strat and just like understanding it, right? There's so many like little like things that you don't really like think about until you're already like fucking an hour deep into practice. You're like, man, I hit it a couple times, but it's not really consistent. I wonder why. And then you start figuring out stuff like how it feels to press the buttons in the right way, and like certain tells that are nice to have. Stuff that like is not really taught to you, right? Kind of the unspoken truths of having to run. And it's nice to have people that are able to kind of like point out the unspoken shit to you. Like the way I do the end of 7, that was entirely like I was just like fucking around because I'm like, my end of 7 is not consistent. And that feels bad. And so I talked to a couple people, and they're like, yeah, you should just jump right before the flag, and then you can do this longer jump and hold, and then do that. And it works so much better. And I'm like, oh my god, it is. Thanks, guys. Thanks, gang. It was like that. Guess holding a little bit harder would be nice whenever I'm not gonna get the the fat jump. Holding a little bit harder is probably just safer. Give me one more run of 7, and I'll go into 8. I need more practice on 8 anyway. Bam. Or someone has asked about it on... Yeah, normally. But, again, it just takes more effort, right? I've learned plenty of stuff about many games by just, like, scrolling through Discord messages. I've done this. Me and you are the same in that way. However, it is a lot faster if you just ask somebody. Jesus Christ. What an ugly 8 that was. If I got that in an actual run, I might cry. Okay, turn off the volume. I do not want to hear that shit. I do not want to hear no car, no rumbling. I don't want to hear none of that. My car is never going to be consistent, but I guess, like, asking car to be consistent is like asking a clock to be... a broken clock to be right more than twice a day. Hold, bam. That's my new strat for a car. It's hold once the wheel hits the second bump, that's when you actually let go. That's my new strat, and it's actually been great. Of all the things that can increase consistency on fucking car, that one has been a fucking... maybe not a game changer, but a certainly quality of life update. Look at that. Well, you know, could have gone better. If I had bumped a little bit harder, I'm sure it would have been great, but... Everybody told me not to go for that strat, by the way. They all said don't go for fast 8. And then dude, they said no, don't go for fast 8. And instead, go for like some frame perfect setup where like you have to reset at the flag, get first frame acceleration, and then get like, it was like some crazy fucking strat to get a consistent car. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Why would I want to go for the hard shit? It was insane. I remember that entire... Dude, they were all telling me, don't go for the hard 8. And then I got it, like, on 5th try. And they're like, oh, okay. It's not that hard to go for fast 8 to get that first cycle. It's so not hard. And it just saves you, like, mega time. So even if you get a shitty car, it doesn't matter. Just get fast 8. And it's, like, you either save a ton of time because you got this and fast car... Or you could just get a slow car and it doesn't matter. You're still even. Oh my god, that's hot. That's a hot car. When your car does a little flip and throws you forward, you love to see that. 8 Glow. I haven't seen you in a hot minute, brother. How you doing? Ah. Not me fucking up fast 8 twice, as I just proclaimed its values. There you go. Third time's a charm, right? Bam. Once that second tire hits, that's when you let go. Oh, that was nasty. Hey, we still made it though. Slow? It's a slow 8, but again, I got fast 8, so it all evens out at the end. I got first cycle. Slow car, but a first cycle. Look at that. That's just beautiful, dude. That is picturesque. Oh. I usually start my my left tap on the spike. It's weird when I start my left tap. It's like, I don't know. I don't really... I never thought about when to start my left tap. I just kind of started doing it, and it just started like working out for me. There is no visual indicator. It's just like I do it by like I just know how this level feels to play, And I just do it by feels. Because Sheep was playing Red Ball, and I was like, yeah, exactly. I've been playing Red Ball for a little bit now, 8glow. I assume you know about this. This should not... Surprising to no one, I've been doing this for a little bit. It's been, what, like a couple of months that I've been playing fucking Red Ball for? Finally, once... I can finally escape this bum-ass fucking game the moment I get this up there. I can finally escape, bro. I'm trapped here. Good visual. Yeah, that's true. And normally for all the other levels, I'm totally with you, but level 8 has just turned into like the vibes level for me. And I don't know why it has, but it just kind of ended up like that. Like there's not really a visual indicator when I stop holding jump. There's not really a visual indicator like when I tap. It is all like this I don't know. I just go off vibes and it works out every time. Or it works out pretty consistently. So I cannot be mad at like because the vibes have not done me dirty as of yet, so. Probably could be more consistent, but that would require like a whole roll up of fucking level 8. And level 8 right now is not like, it's not inconsistent to the point that I would feel like I would want to change how I'm doing it, you know? It could always be better, but every level could always be better, you know? Just more practice. Just keep sticking, you know, keep sticking your hand down the garbage disposal. You might pull up some treasure. I don't know why I'm getting cucked by that first spike so hard. Should have gone slow there. No, you won't. You got some beef, MJ? You want to talk about it? I don't know when I start my left tap. You probably could tell better than I can. What the fuck? My car decided to kill me, and for what reason? Car's being very rude right now, I'd say. Well, you know what? It's a slow car, but if I make it to the end, you know, can you really complain? The most important thing, honestly, more important than the left tap, is actually just getting a small jump. If you can get a tiny little jump over the obstacle, then 9 times out of 10 you fucking clear it. Left tap is actually... like, yeah, left tap, but it's like, you know, if you don't get that little tiny tap, then like, what the fuck are you gonna... what the fuck are we getting here? Like, what are we doing? Red Ball's like a box of chocolate. Dude, I'm not even an hour into practice. I promise you, if I did 2 hours of full game attempts, I would get nowhere, and I would also fucking melt into a pile of goo on the floor, and it would not be good. Maybe, but that would require me to relearn how I press buttons, and honestly, I'm 24 days in Divide by Zero. I'm too deep in the sauce right now. There's no part of me that wants to relearn this level. Maybe I should. Oh my god, that feels so fucking weird. Okay, it kind of worked. It did feel weird, but it did kind of work. Maybe Divide by Zero is onto something. My muscle memory is hating this right now, but Jesus. I guess I have to like hold jump longer, but then press left tap earlier. Jesus Christ, that feels because I'm trying to. I instinctively am trying to like left tap again. My God, this is a brutal relearning of. I don't know what I'm doing. That is a brutal. My muscle memory is actually way too powerful, I think. I don't know if I can win against it Divide by Zero. I'd have to spend like an hour on level 8 just doing that over and over again and hating every second of my life. And honestly, I could just do slow 8. Like I've been on runs where I'm like what, half a second ahead. I'll just do slow 8. I don't care. I'll make up the time for it on 9, you know? That's just what I do. And again, I can just make up a lot of time on 9 because my splits let me. I have custom splits made by Jonathan Muckmuck. Big man. He made my splits for me, and so generally, I can make up a lot of time on 9 because just because of the way he set up the splits. I can save a little bit of time on 8, depending on if I get a fast 8 plus good car, but generally 8s is just zeros. That's a bad car. Yep. I knew it, dude. I knew it in my fucking bones. I knew it, dude. Again, I'm trying to do more level 11 practice today, so 8 might be the run killer today, but honestly, there's going to be at least one run that I get past it, and I feel okay. 9 has been more of a run killer than 8 has for me, historically. I guess that makes sense, judging by how 9 is. And judging that I don't go for... What's the strat that the good runners go for? Or like the good runners who try to go for sub 3? Everybody was telling me to go for the strat, but I said I want to go plunger. I said I want plunger jump because it's fucking swag route. It's objectively cooler to do plunger jump than whatever the other strategy is. Even though it's less consistent. And they're like pretty much equal in terms of speed. Done optimally, both strats are pretty equal. 1 frame perfect plunger. I do 0 frame perfects on my plunger. I do 0 frame perfects on my plunger. Yeah, YOLO balls, that's the one. Either I do the frame perfect unintentionally or I just don't do it at all. Because I don't feel like I don't try to do a frame perfect on plunger. I just kind of like ball. And not most of the time it works. YOLO balls, everybody was telling me that YOLO balls is more consistent. That's what everybody was saying. When I first got to 9, they were like, go for YOLO balls, go for YOLO balls. And I'm like, I saw a run with this plunger jump and I want to do it. And you know what? That's what I've done ever since. Story of my life. I do not know how to do YOLO balls, and I'm not going to learn. What a horrible little retap there. And then I'm jumping too early. Oh boy, oh boy. It's gone. Oh boy, level 9 has started off horrifically, I'd say. Children are crying. Oh my god, and I hit the fucking crease as well? That's too fast. Plunger jump really is the Goldilocks of strats. And then I can't even get a good left tap? Oh boy. What an ugly state of affairs we have found ourselves in, huh? Okay, that should be money. There we go. I was just slow and awful and terrible in every other way. But hey, we got the plunger jump at least. Okay, level 9 might be the run killer today. Oh, and I got the crease again? That's crazy. Double crease? There have been days that I've gone without even licking the crease. And I get it twice in the first couple minutes? There we go. See that's a nice wholesome. If I could just read the clouds better, that would be nice and wholesome, but hey, you know. We can't all be perfect. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, is that perfect? Oh, oh brother. I know. I don't know where the frame perfect is, and I don't want it. I don't know, like, it doesn't have a good visual indicator. Compared to all the other frame perfects in the run, how would you rank it in terms of difficulty? Because I think the way that I rank frame perfects right now is like the first, the second frame perfect of level, or like I kind of group them together. The first two frame perfects of level 11 are easily the hardest. Second hardest is probably the second frame perfect of 11 because the visual indicator is dog water. Third hardest frame perfect, probably the first one of level 3. That one kind of does suck. Hey, that works. Well, that could have worked. How else? What other frame perfects? I've still got level 6 frame perfect. Probably the two level 6 frame perfects are next after that. Then the second frame perfect of level 3. Any other frame perfects? And then and then the level 7 and level 10 frame perfects. I'd say level 7 is easier than level 10 frame perfect. Because those are all the levels with frame perfects in them, I think. 3, 6, 7, 10, and 11. Those are all the levels with frame perfects in them. Actually, and most of those frame perfects are like super doable too. Like level 3 is like, you know, it is kind of a meaningless level at in the grand scale of things. You do so many good level 3s, like, you know, you start to lose track of yourself. And then level 6 is like, again, like so many of the frame perfects are like, they technically count as 2, but they feel more like 1, you know? Wait, then where do you do the frame perfect then? That's a crazy setup. Is it this jump right here, the one at the one at the downhill? That downhill jump, is it just like what, frame perfect and then you just hold that bitch? I don't know, I do a weird strat where like I hold jump on this one. I hold that jump. So then I just waste a little bit more time, and so I get better launches because I'll just hold the jump and it'll just waste time. It's a really funny strat. Full jump and frame perfect. Even if you don't get the frame perfect, is it possible to like, oh man, but it's probably not possible to come back because you'll be holding super hard. That's really weird. And then also hitting that, like there is just zero visual indicator, bro. You're actually so cooked. There is zero visual indicator at all. Okay, never mind. That's like a level. That's like a level 11. That's like the second frame perfect of level 11. Or technically the third if you're counting them by individual frame perfects. But again, I group frame perfects that are like, if they're one frame apart, then I count them as, you know, that's one frame perfect. It's just, you know, you got to do them in a sequence. The level 11 frame perfects at the beginning, it's one. I call it one. That's why I never go for full runs or for world record. In Red Ball, ever. I do not have the equipment, nor do I have the patience to try to fucking hit frame perfect releases. Oh my god, frame perfect releases? Kill me now. What was that lag from not me getting my jump? Zuets with the rate of 5. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh, my plunger jump is so ugly. It's Sunday. It's a quiet day. Nothing interesting ever happens on Sunday. That's a fact. I thought I had it. Nice. A little bit too fast, it seems, for my own good. Oh, I thought I had that. You need to have differing levels of re-tapping. And then I get an awful left tap. Jeez. Yeah, level 8 and level 9 are looking to be where all good things go to die, I guess. It's one of those days. Does that make it? It was oof. Let go of jump right before I hit it. Hey Zuits, did you hear about that fucking Kai Cenat Streamer University thing? Heard about it? Yeah, I was told about it last stream, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll drop an application. I said I am bored. And so after stream, I'm like, I'm morbidly curious. I wonder if anybody else has fucking... I wonder if anybody else has fucking dropped an application. And oh boy, were there a bunch of motherfuckers who dropped applications. And they were all fucking... Oh boy. There were two genres of like... of people that were dropping applications. It was either... American black people trying to be the next Kai Cenat, or foreign people who have very strong accents. Those are the two categories. A bunch of people made it, didn't even drop content. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, what are you even doing? Like you have no love for the game. If you're doing this raw just because you want to be like, fucking, I want to be on Kai Cenat stream. Bro, you're not made for this. Don't fucking pretend like you're fucking him. Like, oh, I can make it if I just get a bump. Like, boy, you are fucking... This is some pussy-ass bitch shit, bro. Get fucking for real, bro. You're not made for this. I've been doing this shit for 5 years. Okay? No viewers, no nothing. I'm out here playing a goddamn game that was released in 2000 something. All right? We are really out here, bro. Get into art school? Then oh boy, you want to go to art school, boy? Get your ass a pen. If you want to go to art school, it's the same thing with like cooking school. It feels like it's such a rich person thing. As a rich person, I say that as a rich person. It's like it feels like such a rich person thing where it's like, bro, like you don't need this. Okay? The best cook in the world is probably some fucking some Mexican dude who's making fucking minimum wage at your goddamn local fucking food truck, who's making banger ass food that nobody cares about, okay? That's probably the best chef in the world, okay? I don't want to fucking hear it. All right? If you got love for the game, you're going to do it, okay? You don't need no streamer university to fucking help you along. You don't need no Kai Cenat to tell you what to do, all right? If I ever get into streaming university, I will not learn a damn thing. I will not learn a damn thing because there's not a damn thing that they can teach me. I'm there for fucking memes and vibes specifically. Okay? I'm there because the camera's on me. And that's all I'm doing, okay? All streamer university is marketing. Okay? And if I come out of streamer university and I don't see motherfuckers making top 5 funniest sheepo 3 moments on TikTok, then it's cooked. Then I fucked it up. Then I'm not built for this. Connections. I can understand like going to art school a little bit more. I can get it. Like like same thing with like culinary school, right? It's like it just helps expedite the process, right? You're not going to college because they're going to teach you anything novel or anything you can't find on the internet. You're going to go to college because they're going to teach you stuff in a very organized and a very thought out process that has been proven to work, okay? They've organized all the information you need to know and they've organized it for you. That's why you go to college. That's why it's easier to learn in college when you have like an entire organized like thing. Learning by yourself is possible. You can learn everything if you're motivated enough, you can learn anything you want. And you don't need no fucking college diploma, all right? But it's going to be a whole lot harder, and you're going to have to do a whole lot more work to get the same amount of information and knowledge. But again, I think if you got love for the game, and then also like and that's also like regardless of like the prestige like a diploma gives you and like, you know, oh, I have a college degree, it means so much more to like people like yeah, like regardless of job application stuff. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that if you got love for the game, you're gonna do it anyway, regardless of, you know. And so I think that people who are applying to streaming university who haven't been streaming, you're not even doing the bare minimum. Okay? Lock in. You're not even doing the bare minimum. That's why anybody who watches those like tips for streamers videos, I think they're all stupid. I think all those tips for streamers videos they're all dumb. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Okay? You want to learn how to stream? Boy, oh boy, do I have a tip for you. I'm not going to say it because it should be implied. Quit? Yes. 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 That is correct. Unfortunately, the only tip that means anything. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm telling you right now. Start before you're ahead. I know you want to. It's not worth it, bro. Because, like, the likelihood is that you're going to do it for, like, a little bit. You're going to get no viewers, and you're going to quit anyway, okay? The problem happens is when you start, like, actually figuring out, like, oh, I actually kind of, like, enjoy this shit. That's when everything goes to hell. Don't do it. If you enjoy streaming, your life is cooked. Don't do it. I've been for real starting to enjoy video editing a lot more often. Damn, you're going down the same road that I did? Oh man, you and I are actually the same. I enjoyed video editing so much. I have a fucking minor in college for fucking film. Streaming has ruined me, bro. I could have had a degree in poli-sci, minor in fucking economy. It could be sick. You show me your assignment, bro. I wish I could show you the other. Well, to be fair, there's like one last video from college that I've been hanging on to for like a year because I haven't been able to get good work on it done. Dude, that thing has been a fucking pain in my ass for like a year now. And I'm finally getting decent work on it. Now I just need to do audio stuff, but bro, the visual aspect of that shit was a fucking nightmare to deal with. Oh my god. I actually made it look really good. I'm actually shocked by my own ability to like make this shit not look like complete dog water ass. It was crazy, bro. It was the most it was just like, that's the funny thing about color correct. Color correction is such a weird thing where it's like, there are so many different color correction tools that all kind of do the same thing in different ways, right? Like the only really things you really have to worry about is it's the color of things, it's the light level of things, and then it's the and then there's like a bunch of other like minor stuff. But like those are the kind of like the color things and the light and the brightness of things. Those are the things that you need to care about. And like all you're doing when you're manipulating those things is just like, I don't know, pressing dials up and down, and the dials are just, I don't know. You can do like the same color grade as like a professional color artist by just having like a limited amount of dials. You don't need a whole like professional suite of fucking tools to do a really good color grade. All it takes is like decent footage and like knowledge of color science and, you know, what looks good. Dials are dials. That's all it is, bro. I just get the luxury of having like the best color grading software in the world to like, I don't know, press the dials on, so the tiles are the best. And also the video that I'm using for this project, here's the biggest thing with color correction, and this is the thing that every single video that you watch on color correction is actually fucking lying to you. It is lying to you, okay? It is lying to you because you are not working with video like they are working with video, okay? All these color correction videos are like, oh, you want to do this, and you want to do this, and you want to do this, and you're like, well, why am I not getting the same results? The reason is because your videos are freaking dog shit compared to them, okay? You're recording like MP4, MOV. Those formats save nothing. Those formats, if you're editing videos off of those formats, you're not going to be able to color correct shit. Your color correction is going to look like a piece of fucking ass. Okay? The only way you're going to get decent color correction is if you have raw footage. And raw footage is so fat. It is so fat. I have like, I'd say like maybe half an hour of raw footage on my PC. It's approaching a terabyte of storage capacity. That's not a joke, by the way. That's conservative estimate. Okay, we are not, like, it is, I could check the official file size. I think it's either, like, of my final project file that I have, oh man, it's probably, like, closer to, like, 700, 800 gigabytes. Bam. Hold on, let's check. This is why I'm trying to finish this video, by the way, because it's taking so much fucking space on my laptop. Properties. Yeah, that's about right. It's about, what, 667 gigabytes? About, roughly. Yeah, that's about it. It's too much. Black and white? No. So what you do, the best way to record it is you need to record it in a certain format. So there's like, the way that, okay, this is like really technical. But like, there's two different like things that control like what your colors look like out of the camera. It's your file format, and it's what your it's the kind of it's the way your color is actually being recorded. There's like, I don't know the specific term because I haven't like been to school in like a year now, so I totally forget the technical term. But basically, like, raw footage is going to look super, like, unsaturated and grayscale, basically. Super really high quality raw footage is going to look like dog shit. And if it looks like dog shit, that's how you know you did it right. I could even pull up a video just to show you what I mean. Hold on. I think I pull up some decent video. Oh no, my computer is hating this. Oh yeah, this is good. Okay. This video was taken in the middle of the day, the middle of the bright sunny day, and this is what it came out raw out of the camera. If I could pull it up. Damn it. Oh, it's not going to let me show it, is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, we got it. Okay. So this is what this video looks like, by the way. This is footage in the middle of the day. As you can see, it's super desaturated, super grayscale. This is because the camera has taken all the color in the pixel and it's compressed it down and it's saved it. So you have all this giant range of color and it's all saved inside a single pixel. So all that range of color is compressed down to look like a grayscale. But by expanding it out, what you're allowing the basically you're letting the camera take all that information, expand it out. And that's how you get the bright, vibrant colors, okay? That's how you get like an actual color correction. But this is what it looks like coming out of the camera. It looks terrible. Like, there's me. Look at me. Look at how ugly I look. Look at how nothing this is. Yeah, it's grayscale. It's very, very blah. So yeah. The wok is chopped. Fuck you. So yeah. I wonder what the file size of that individual file is. Yeah, that file by itself is 2 gigabytes, by the way. How much video is that? Yeah, it's like 2 minutes. It's like less than 2 minutes of video. Probably closer to 1 minute of video, and it's 2 gigabytes, so. It's just the way it is. A lot of file size. Yeah, but also kill yourself, MJ. If you're wondering. Your posture is shit. I could tell you the story of the video, but I'm not going to. I need to turn on audio for this level. Welcome to Burton Part 2. Fuck you. Gotta go eat and stuff. That's crazy. Go eat. Prepping for tomorrow? Yes. The week is starting soon. We have to prepare ourselves. I don't understand how I don't hit that. There we go. Boing boing. Whee! That makes it. Okay. Bro. Give a brother a frame perfect, would you? What are you so interested in Red Ball for, huh? Roses? Kill yourself. My posture's fine. My posture is actually like, yeah, maybe I should be like this more, but it's like I'm a gamer, bro. Let me game. Better than Minecraft hockey. Well, once I hit sub 3, I'm never fucking touching this bum ass game again. So you know, Red Ball should count its fucking days, okay? Once I get it, bro, it's gonna be all over for you. Never gonna have to suffer again. Once you hit sub 3, you're gonna beat Warzone 210 on very hard mode. Is it very hard? As the name would suggest. Very hard mode? Well, that's nice. No, bro, I'm telling you, once I beat Red Ball, we're going into the Dark Ages, okay? So you can either prepare for it or you can, you know, fall. It's one or the other, bro. It's called... The Dark Ages means I'm gonna be playing fucking Minecraft hockey, bro. It's called Sheepo3 plays Minecraft fucking hockey. Those are the Dark Ages. Not that fun? It is! It is that fun! Ain't lasting 3 streams? Bro, you have no idea how infatuated I've become with this idea. Because it's like, I actually get to compete against somebody else. Oh, dude. That is so exciting for somebody like me. The chance to compete against another person in a tournament. Something I so rarely get to do. In an actual competitive environment, bro. That sounds so fucking exciting to me. You have no idea. You have no idea how exciting that sounds. In an organized tournament setting. I want to do this. I don't want to. Because reaching the top level of Minecraft hockey is like... It's not... It's so feasible. It's so within my grasp, okay? I'm never gonna get to the top of fucking CS2. Never in a million years. Alright? But with a little bit of goddamn effort, I could get pretty close to the top of the Minecraft hockey charts, okay? Didn't you dodge the draft? So you're a baby? I am a baby. Yeah? Are we all not babies? I like competition. And also my computer can't run CS2. It probably can run CS2, I just don't trust it to run CS2 while streaming. Val, bro? Yeah, I played Val off stream. You know why I never played it on stream? Because my frame rate would fucking tank. I'd be playing Valorant on like 45 frames a second, bro. It's cooked. Yeah, and then it looks like shit, okay? So? 45 frames is not pretty good. It's not. If I'm not getting a minimum 60 frames a second on a game, then it's not being played. If it's not 60 frames a second, then I'm not fucking playing. Thanks. I'm okay. You're a spoiled? What do you mean I'm a spoiled brat? Oh my god, I want my games to be playable and responsive to my fucking inputs? You ain't been in the 30 FPS? Yeah, I was when I was a fucking child and I had no concept of what game is. I used to play modded Minecraft on fucking 20 frames a second. I've been there. And you know what I did? After a while, I quit because I'm like, I'm tired of getting shitty frames. So I played regular Minecraft. And I got 50 frames a second, and that felt amazing. I've been there, bro. I used to play fucking modded Minecraft on the family MacBook. Okay? Like I said, I grew up in a household full of Apple computers. It was awful. My Val ran at 60, but that's because I was off stream. The moment I turned on stream, it would fucking tank. Then it would look awful. You understand that I concern myself about much more than just the fucking what it plays like to me. I'm also concerned about what it looks like to the people. Okay? I've got multiple concerns here. And also, I never wanted to play Valorant on stream. I was always, you know. I made a promise that I'd never play Valorant on stream, and I've stuck to that promise. PUBG Mobile? I used to play PUBG Mobile pretty hardcore too. You say that, but I've been down there. I've been in the PUBG Mobile slums. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Also, I would have no idea. It'd have to take some real fucking effort for me to connect my phone up to my goddamn computer or my OBS or whatever, and I just don't want to do that. Also, PUBG Mobile's not that fun. And it's either it's filled with a bunch of hackers or Indians. Okay, and I cannot speak that. I'm gonna get shit talked in a different language, bro. It's cooked. Yeah, but I'm just gonna get a bunch of hackers. There's so many hackers in PUBG Mobile. I guarantee it. Stream Dota 2 then. At that point, I just stream League of Legends. Does cap. I don't believe that for a fucking second of my life. Dota 2 isn't degenerate. I think all MOBAs are inherently degenerate by design. Isn't that the mobile game? That's like the most popular esport in the world or something? I think the only thing less hard than playing a mobile game competitively is playing a sports game competitively. Like, if you're playing fucking NBA 2K as a competitive fucking sport, then, oh my god, touch some grass, bro. Yeah. That's the funny thing with esports. We all learned very quickly, or maybe not very quickly, but we all learned eventually that, you know, esports are just not fucking profitable. In any fucking sense of the word. They're just not profitable. Fortnite esports? Who the fuck would want to intentionally watch a Fortnite esports event? Even people who play Fortnite. Even if you played Fortnite. Why would you ever want to watch Fortnite esports? Fortnite esports are literally the most dog shit esport ever. And this is coming from the guy who loves esports. I love esports. I love esports. And this is coming from the guy who fucking who loves all esports. I hate Fortnite esports. It is so fucking it is so unwatchable. Iro, that's cool. Tell him to get a better esport. Show him Rocket League. It'll blow his mind. He's like, oh my god, you can actually see what the players are doing? I am elitist, bro. I think that Fortnite is inherently unwatchable, bro. That shit is so fucking dog shit booty cheeks. It's just bad. It's just bad. I've tried too. I tried. What's a better esport than Fortnite? CSGO, Valorant, Overwatch, Street Fighter, Super Smash Bros, any fighting game, Rocket League, PUBG, League of Legends. I haven't watched a Dota tournament, but probably Dota. And that's just off the top of my head. I will say the fighting game elitists are cringe. The motherfuckers that only play fighting games, yeah, they're cringe. But I got no beef with them. Or I've got less beef with them. MC Civ events, real shit. That, yeah. There's a lot of funny Street Fighter clips. I will say, I think that if you want to correctly talk about the fighting game community, you have to separate fighting games versus Smash Bros. Because platform fighters and 2D and traditional 2D fighters they're two different audiences. Two very different communities, okay? I don't think I've ever watched Guilty Gear. I did watch a little bit of Street Fighter 6, but I kind of fell off. I kind of fell off watching most esports just because of timing. And also because I have a fucking job, so it just becomes harder. But Street Fighter 6 is a really fun esport to watch. Even if you don't really know Street Fighter 6 is very watchable and very understandable. I watched a couple matches of Street Fighter 6 and I was able to pick up on like the basics, which is kind of how I learned how most sports or esports work, by just watching it a bunch, and then I kind of just got it. And Street Fighter I picked up a lot quicker than other sports. When you're reading JoJo, fucking never. Ahaha. I don't know how deep in the sauce I have to be to fucking pick up JoJo's. Exactly, and that's the problem. I don't want to be like them. The problem with Peak is that it blinds everybody else to the amount of mid that you have to go through to get to it. And that is all manga. That is all manga. There is one moment, one thing of Peak, and it is surrounded with so much fucking mid. That's cap. That's cap. I don't believe that. I have heard anybody who's ever talked about JoJo saying like, bro, I swear it gets good. That's what everybody has always said about JoJo's. I swear it gets good. That's what everybody fucking says about JoJo's. Maybe I could be looking at the wrong motherfuckers, but... yes? That's what they all say, bro. They all say it gets good. That's why I would never suggest Hunter x Hunter to anybody, okay? Hunter x Hunter is Peak. For one moment of one story arc. One character in one story arc is Peak. The rest of it is mid. I think everybody has the same taste as you? I don't think everybody has the same taste as me. I'm just gonna say what I think of shit. And if I think something is shit, or I think something is mid, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna fucking like pussyfoot around my opinions just because somebody else thinks it's good. That's a crazy take. That's actually an unfathomable take. No part of JoJo's is mid. Okay. I'm gonna take your word for it, I think. Because I cannot disprove it. I know. I can't prove you wrong. That's the thing. So, hey. If you're right, you're right. I won't find out for a while. Don't worry. I'm enjoying my Gunnar manga right now, okay, Roses? Leave me be. Me and my Gunnar manga are having a great time together. No, I'm gonna read fucking Kill La Kill or whatever the fuck. Back-to-back Gunnar is crazy. I found a niche. It's I will say the Gunnar stuff is much more consumable. Very easy to consume Gunnar manga. Evangelion. They look cool, based. It was Gunnar sometimes. I think all of it is Gunnar sometimes. It's just the level. Part 1 of part 6. If I have to reach part 6 to reach some fucking fat noggers, but isn't it more Gooner because the men are so hot? I think that sometimes. I will say I have not seen many hot men in manga in like bathing suits. Okay, there's a limited amount. I'm a little bit I'm kind of disappointed. Oh, I guess that did happen at one time. That's true. But honestly, Gojo is just hot because of the fucking because of the blindfold. The blindfold is sick. I have to say it. It is sick that he just walks around wearing a blindfold. I think that's sick. I like Gojo's character design. He looks very cool. Gojo looks very cool. Takes off the blindfold, he's way better looking. But I think when you're introduced to him and he's just walking around with a full blindfold on, that's like, it's never really, like, it sounds impractical, but that's how goated he is. It's a very easy, like, visual metaphor of just like, you want to know who the most fucking goated person in the scene? Here's the person who's intentionally wearing a blindfold. He's intentionally hampering his vision, and he's still the fucking most goated. Like, that's sick. That's very cool. I fuck with Toji. I don't hate that. I will say about Toji, the whole like "what woman are you into" thing is extremely corny to me. That red is extremely corny to me, but I don't know. I didn't really take anything that deep from it. I'm sure there's maybe there's some deeper meaning, but I never really got it. I do like his power though. That one always felt like, oh yeah, you can. That always felt like a interesting ability. When so many abilities in these like in the fucking shonen stuff are so hyper specific, that one felt like it had enough general application to be like cool. That always felt cool. I'm just intentionally ignoring Rose's messages right now. Yeah. Again, Jujutsu Kaisen is unfortunately mid. There's so much that's good about it, and then it is like, unfortunately, it is just mid. And it sucks. Because if there's one thing that manga tends to do better than most other forms of like content, I'd say it's just character design in general. I feel like manga tends to do character design way better than most other forms of stuff. Dynamics or ideas. I mean, I think there's certainly like an emotional weight to like the idea of failure. I think that would like, especially when they like in that giant boss fight sequence. But I think like the problem with it is with the like with all the shonen stuff. The problem with all like the shonen stuff is that there's so much baggage attached to it that it's so hard to get immersed into the fucking like the actual story and actually. Like, it's hard for me to get immersed into the story in a way that allows me to kind of emotionally connect with it because there is so much fluff. And that's what frustrates me about it. I want to get into the story. I want to feel emotionally connected to these characters, but it's so hard when every other page is fucking like a fucking explanation of... It's just the overcomplicated power system. It's overcomplicated power system. It's the extraordinarily long fights that, you know, are like, that, you know, the fights that take for fucking ever, like all that stuff to me is, that's I understand that's like a necessary part of the genre, but it all reads like very much fluff to me. Which is why I guess like me reviewing shonen is like, you know, sending a fucking, you know, like sending my skin to review a knife, you know? What is my skin's review of knives? Not good. It's very painful to get cut. It's not a great analogy, but like you get the point. It's like a dog's review of chocolate. That's a better analogy. What's your dog's review of chocolate? Everybody go feed your dog some chocolate and then ask for its review. I don't want... what do you want? I mean, yes, actually. I do want a simple power. I want a simple power that can be used in complex ways. I want a simple power that is interesting and can be used in many different ways. I don't think a power should be inherently complicated. I think a power should be simple, and then the complexity comes from how the character decides to use that power. I think those are the most interesting kind of powers. Yeah, and there are better and worse simple powers, right? Sukuna's whole thing was slicing. I don't know, like I'm sure there's some interesting stuff you can do from slicing. Maybe if I reread it, I found some interesting stuff, but for the most part, it was just like cut some fucking shit in half, bro. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. Varying power levels of cutting. I'm like, I guess that's cool. The best powers, I think, are always the ones that are like simple but interesting because of their, you know, simple to understand, hard to, you know, master type shit. The Tetris of powers. Like Toji. I always thought Toji was a great example of that. Inherently a cool concept, and then there's so many different ways you can use it in an interesting way to make your fights fun. There's so many different ways they used Toji's power, and it was all interesting and fun and cool. I always liked his fight scenes because they were so like easily accessible, yet there are so many interesting things you could do with it. Who's my favorite power? I fuck with the electricity. I wish it was explored more. From what's his name in HXH. What's his name? The dude, child assassin with the electricity. I always fuck with that. Yeah, Killua. That's the one. I always liked his power. I wish they would have explored it more, but like in the ways that they did explore it, it was always like cool to see what he would do with it. And the fact that it was like a limited resource, I think that made it more interesting. Buddha hand. Like it's very on its face like cool, but it's just not that complex, you know? And I think that's what kind of limits it for me. I like a power that's like, I think I like when the coolness comes from the smartness of the character who's using the power, right? I think I've said this before, but I always like when fights are more dictated by like brains rather than brawn. And I think that it's very cool to see how creative authors will make their characters smart. I always liked when characters could outbrain each other, or like outbrain a stronger opponent by just being smarter and by using their power in an interesting way to gain an advantage. I always liked that. That was always my favorite part of the fights. Not like some like secret technique or I'll just get stronger or I'll just be better type shit. It's always been more interesting when the characters were able to gain an edge through their creativity. And powers and simple powers that have inherent complexity is what allows that to happen. Maybe I should. Maybe I will. Yeah, I've heard enough about Death Note to get like the vibes of it. But I think for me it's like I like the idea of shonen stuff so much because I do like the fucking like I do like big fight scenes and I like strong people beating the shit out of each other, fighting and all that. I like all that inherently, right? There's a reason I like hero stuff so much. It's because, you know, I find some joy from just people beating the shit out, people beating each other up and fighting each other. I think that's cool. I just think that the particular brand of like the shonen stuff can be so cool if it was if it was just tuned back a little bit, okay? There's so like for all the bad things that I say about like the shonen fight stuff, there is like an equal amount of like goodness, right? When like, you know, when characters are, because the characters are interesting, the powers can be simple but yet complex, you know, the power systems, it's nice to have a little bit more like lucidity into like how the actual intricacies of the power system works, you know? There's some stuff that is nice about that. But then they're just, it also comes with a lot of baggage along with it that just makes it very unfortunate, I think. So it becomes frustrating. When I have to watch a fight scene that lasts for fucking 50 chapters. With Nen. I think Nen starts off cool. It just gets too it gets too complex. I think all that brain power of like making Nen a more like fucking fleshed out system, I think like leave some of the more like intricate details like under wraps because nobody fucking needs to know that shit and nobody like there's going to be a limited amount of people who I think actually care. I think just expand on like the general aspects and then just like get into the nitty-gritty details with like individual uses of powers. Let characters be creative with their powers. You know? During fight sequences, like let them use like the environment to their advantage, you know? Stuff like that. Find interesting ways to have characters win fights rather than just like I'm going to just fucking hit you hard. Again, that's just personal shit though. I'm not saying like the shonen system of fighting is bad or good. It just don't work for me. Yeah. I think that I think like Morel is a classic case of like over explaining shit. If he just like if like his explanation could have been as simple as like this guy can fucking smoke his fucking fat pipe and manifest the smoke into actual physical objects. All like that's all you need to say. It is all you need to say about him. You can get into the complexity of that power like as the fight goes on, like you can expand on it more, like if people are trying to like break through the smoke, like okay, then like if somebody's trying to break through the smoke, then we can start talking about like okay, how durable is it? Like well, like what does that actually mean? Like all that, so we can get into that as a fight progresses. Okay? People call it lazy writing? Yeah, but those people, like I think the people who read the shonen anime who's going to call it lazy writing are just people who are just who like the over complexity, right? I think that there's a concept in storytelling. It's called like in storytelling, dude. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like you don't need to explain everything, but you need to make everything make sense, right? It's like okay, it's like for example, it's like okay. Let's say you had, for example, a prison on a rock, right? You had a giant island and a giant rock island and you put a prison on it. And it's like, okay, why do we put the prison on the rock? Well, to stop people escaping. But that's not a good explanation. If you said, for example, we put the prison on the rock so that we could stop people from escaping because we're doing human experimentation on the prisoners to try to create a human superweapon illegally, and we're using the prison on the rock to separate the prison from the normal society so we can hide our activities, that is an explanation that satisfies you, right? It doesn't explain everything, like how do you get food to the rock? How do you get people to the rock? How do you get guards? How do you make everything work? What are the logistics of that system? When you start thinking about that, of course, like the whole thing falls apart. The prison on the rock makes no fucking sense. But if you're just able to explain the bare minimum, you're able to satisfy the reader enough that they're able to just be like, oh, this is cool. Let's keep going, right? I think that's what shonen writers should do more. Just like say like, hey, just make something that's like satisfying enough to make sense, and then just fucking and then just keep it rolling. But I understand that's not like, you know, some people don't really fuck with that. Some people like the more complex shit. So I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to, I guess I am trying to yuck somebody's yum. I will yuck your yum. But I'm not going to tell you to not yum. If you yum, then go crazy, but I will yuck. I think I made sense. I think that example made sense. I think I nailed it. Alright, let's go for some full game runs. I'm going to practice level 10 on the actual tournament version. It kind of made sense. Yeah. But it's like, how it would apply to HXH. I don't know. I think with HXH, like, for example, it's like, okay, Nen is a system where you can have, like, fucking energy. Everybody makes energy. And when you do the Nen stuff, you get to, like, control that energy. And you can manifest that energy into special powers. And you can also use Nen as, like, a protective barrier to increase your durability, right? I don't need to know the whole details about, like, the actual state of, like, what are, like, the 4 things that you have to do, like, to meditate and, like, get your Nen in check and do all that stuff or whatever. I don't need to know all that. That just is unnecessary. Just say, hey, if you're better focused, you better control your Nen, and then you have more power. That's all you have to say. You don't have to go through 4 stages of fucking meditation. It's unnecessary, it's filler, and it's fluff, and it makes it more complicated than it needs to be. In my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You could just say, like, if you don't like what I'm saying or you don't agree, I think it's okay to say, like, I don't agree, but I don't know why I don't agree. I think that's a very understandable thing to say. I don't know, I feel like I've said that before where it's like, I disagree, but if something feels wrong, but I don't know how to verbalize it. And that's fine. It's a totally justified thing to do. I fuck with Hunter. Exactly. Again, it's just it's very much a case of different strokes for different folks. Great, so level 10 still works. That's nice. What could have made Chimera? In my opinion, I don't know. I feel like if I were to make Chimera and Arc 10 out of 10, I would just, like, totally rip out part of the identity, the core identity of Hunter x Hunter. I don't know if I would be able to do that, right? I think the arc in its entirety is carried because Meruem is such a peak character. I just think Meruem is such a peak character. I think Meruem is such a peak character because they don't, like, he's not really that complex. Like, what are really his Nen powers? I don't know. I can't really remember. But that's what makes him so interesting. It's like he's just strong. He's just so powerful, and nobody fucking questions it. He doesn't need to prove it. He just has that aura. And when he does approve it, he just proves it by, like, being faster, being stronger, being smarter. Like, that's all he does. He doesn't use some special fucking power, some special super hyper blast. All he does is, like, punch somebody. And that's all. That's all it takes. Like, that is sick. That is so cool. Just to have a character that is so simple. I think that's what makes him, I don't know, so, like, appealing to me. I don't have to wade, I don't have to wade through layers of complexity to get to the core of what makes Meruem an interesting character. It's right there. You know? Very accessible. Oh, it is. Fuck. That's so true. Dude, I got past level 3 too on my first try. I can't believe that. I had such a sick run going. Okay, I think the only thing that I think I talked about this in my review of in my initial review of HXH. I think the only thing that I could do, maybe, is make him not as harmed by the blast, right? I would make it so that when the actual bomb detonates, Meruem is like, maybe he like loses an arm or something, but like they kind of fucked him up. I kind of wanted him to just like fully just tank that shit hard and then get killed by the poison. Right? I like him. Exactly, me too. I think MJ, me and you, we both agree on this. Meruem is an interesting character with interesting character development. But the intrigue doesn't come from the fights itself. The guards would be a problem? Yeah. It is a nice way to kind of get rid of the guards, I guess. That's honestly my big problem with that entire final fight scene, is that the fucking fights with the guards takes for fucking ever, dude. Holy shit, that shit drags. Especially fighting that one motherfucker with like the million arms. Oh my god. It takes like a fucking year. And they still can't beat him. I wish that they would have either, like, I wish that they would have all tag teamed up and actually, like, beat the guards. Or, like, at least gotten to the point where they could beat the guards. And then the king is just unstoppable, but I don't know. Guards felt a little bit too strong. If I had to, like, really fucking, like, analyze it. But again, at that point, I just gotten used to, like, the fight scenes being hyper long, so I'm like, okay, I can just speed run through this. And that's kind of what I was doing. I wasn't really, like, looking at it at any like, strong pace. I was kind of just like, okay, keep going, they're still fighting, keep going, you know. Just flip, right? I wasn't, like, taking the time to really read the dialogue or anything. It was just kind of like, get through it. Wait until something interesting happens. And that's what a lot of fight scenes are for me. It's just like, you know, just get through it. Well, the whole Meruem fight scene worked because it was so, like, I don't know, it was so it didn't take that long. In comparison to a lot of the other fight scenes, it was very restrained in its length. It's a very easy read, right? There was no, like, back and forth of, like, I'm going to use this technique, I'm going to use this technique. It was, like, very much like, I've defeated you. Stop. This is madness. And then Netero just keep going at it. And then Meruem would just beat his ass again. He'd be like, stop. What are we doing? Let's just talk. And then Netero goes crazy again. And it's really funny how they turn that dichotomy on its head, where it's like, usually it's the good guy who's trying to get him to stop, to talk. But it's like, this time it's like the bad guy, right? The villain. Who's being like, no, stop. Let's talk about this. So interesting. It's what makes Miroom such an interesting character, because he's multifaceted. He's complex. Conclusion for that? Yeah. As I think about it more, I understand why the bomb is there. I just wish there was more explanation behind the bomb. That's the only thing that kind of bugs me about the bomb, is that there felt like there was no build-up. It's just like, oh, but there's a bomb now. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool, but like there has been nothing else ever in this entire fucking anime that has ever suggested that we have bombs. Bombs are never even like part of my calculation. And it's just like, have a bomb. I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess like it's a cool way to get him to die, but like I wish you would have built it up a little bit, you know? I wish we could have gotten to that bomb a little. I wish we could have gotten to the bomb a little bit more organically. No. I think dying to the poison is exactly what you should do. It's a great metaphor. I just wish that what they would have done is like, I wish that they had a, okay, here's what I would have done with the bomb, okay? If I think I talked about this. If I had to choose what they did with the bomb, I wish that they, like, the bomb would have been talked about, like, oh, we can take him out, or we can try to take him out with a bomb. But the plan was is that Netero was going to go try to beat him. And if Netero couldn't beat him, then they would fucking bring a bomb into the palace. They would bait the fucking guy into the they would bait the king into the palace, and then they would destroy the bomb. And it would be like a sacrificial maneuver where like everybody would die to the explosion, but also the king would die. So it would be like a giant sacrifice. And it was like a last resort option. Like this is like this is all we have, right? Everybody would die. But at least we would stop, you know, the ants. But instead, it's like when they're trying to bring the bomb in, like maybe they open the carrying case, like the bomb's gone. Where did the bomb go? Oh no, we don't have the bomb, right? And it's because Netero took it, and because he knew that he wouldn't be able to defeat him. So he took the bomb and he got it directly to him, and then he exploded it. So he saved everybody. Netero was the ultimate self-sacrifice. I think that would be cool. Gotta get the Miroom Komagi. But no, like, the ultimate thing still happens, right? Like, the bomb is still inside Netero, and it still goes off in the same way. It's just that we get a little bit more backstory to why the bomb is there in the first place, right? The bomb doesn't go off in the palace. The bomb still goes off with Netero, right? It's a giant, like, 360 reversal, right? It's like, I think that's a cool, interesting way to, like, you know, kind of fake out the reader in a really interesting way, as opposed to just like, well, there's a bomb now, magical bomb out of nowhere. It's like, okay, like, I get the metaphor and I get it and it's cool and shit, but it's like, I wish there was a more organic way to introduce the concept of a bomb, you know? And I think the way that I just described it, it doesn't change anything that happened with the bomb. It just changes how it was integrated into the broader story of things. You know what I'm saying, MJ? You know what I'm saying? Runs today have not been hot, but that's just because we haven't gotten past 6. So once we get past 6, then we can talk about how hot our runs are. Character motives? I don't know if it would. Maybe a little bit. But I feel like everybody would still be fighting their asses off, right? It'd be like a side mission, right? It'd be like a... Get like the chameleon guy. Whatever the fuck he's doing. I forget what the chameleon guy did for half the fucking fight scene, but have him be like the fucking bomb carrier, right? Have him be that's his thing, right? He's supposed to plant the bomb at the fucking location. And then when he tries, like, he gets there, he goes through all of his shit, and he gets there, and when he finally tries to plant the bomb, it's like, oh no, the bomb's gone. I think that would have been cool. And have him do whatever he did. There's an opportunity here, I think. I know why I fucked that up. It was because late. I need some music. I don't think it has to change character motives. Fuck with yeah. Of course. I mean, that's kind of like the peak scene, right? That's the reason why the whole thing works, right? It's because the final scene with Komugi and Meruem. That's why the entire arc works. That's why everything works. That's why the ending feels so satisfying. Because of that entire chapter. It's a necessary thing to make the entire thing work. The reason it's peak is because of the ending. Exactly. Like I said, there's a lot of things to criticize with HXH, but when it's good, it's good. The election arc kind of felt like a fucking filler arc. Ironically enough, that whole thing just felt like a gigantic filler piece. I don't even know why it happened, bro. It just felt like we need to get what's his name back? Main character. We need to get the main character back. So let's just do this mini thing so we can get the main character back. And then they sent him off anyway because he wasn't on the cruise. So fuck it. Gon. That's his name. Can't believe I forgot his name. Gon. They just need to get Gon back. Wish Gon would have stayed fucking broken for a little bit. Enjoy is such a fucking... Enjoy, I don't know, would be a proper term for me to use. I think. Because I enjoyed HXH more, but I think Poon Poon is fucking miles better. Poon Poon diffs HXH so fucking hard, it's not even funny. In like almost every aspect, Poon Poon diffs. I'm not kidding, by the way. In almost every aspect, Poon Poon diffs. Except maybe character design, but that's just because there's less characters in Poon Poon to have interesting character design. Yes, I'm being entirely serious. The Chimera Ant arc has too many flaws with it to be peak. It's peak because one character. That one character does not diff the entirety of Poon Poon, okay? HXH as a whole, it gets so omega fucking fucked. Poon Poon is perfect? I don't think it's perfect. But I think it's really damn good. I think it's really damn good compared to HXH, which for a lot of the time is mid to bad, okay? It's mid for the it's mid good for the most part, and then it's mid bad at some parts, and then it's mid great. Okay? But all I'm trying to say is Poon Poon is just so much more of a emotionally connected kind of complete story with so much less flaws and man, Poon Poon if you don't learn something about yourself or you don't learn something about something while reading Poon Poon, then I don't know what to tell you. You're just not reading it right. It's a crazy thing to say, but you're not actually deeping any of that information. You're not actually trying to understand it. I mean, curious like... Bro, I was curious like George. That's what they call me. I pulled up with a yellow hat on. Did you learn in Poon Poon that... Don't be depressed. No. Oh, shit. No. I learned in Poon Poon that... That having a purpose in life is so fucking important. Having a reason to keep living. I guess it just really helped me, like, I guess I already knew that, but it just kind of helped me understand that, like, having a reason to live is so important. And being able to understand where your sadness comes from, I guess, is also a really important thing. Like, understanding, like, why are you sad? Understanding the reasons why you think your life sucks is also as important as understanding how to fix them, right? Being able to understand why you're sad is so important. Damn. A fucking picturesque 9, dude. Well, no, that's cooked. Shitty 10. It was a fun run to do, even if it wasn't on pace. I don't know. Understanding... I don't know, I think Poon Poon just gave me some more empathy. Which I guess is maybe the most important thing you can have. Just getting a little bit more empathy. Help you understand what other people are going through. Very hard to do that. Very hard to get to the point where you can really understand what somebody else is going through. And I still really can't. I can't understand what that feels like, but I can understand what it may be like, you know? I think that shit is really important. It's something that's really hard to find, like, genuinely. A story that feels like a very accurate, a very realistic, a very dark tale of sadness. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point, but... yeah. Poon Poon is a, I'm not gonna stop thinking about Poon Poon for a while, okay? It's gonna be on the brain for a while, so don't expect it to change. So yeah. Poon Poon miss you? I don't know, just like thinking about it. I just got too much fucking... I got too much empathy, bro. I care about people too much and shit. I don't know, man. It was... Dude, Poon Poon is fucking dark, bro. Poon Poon is really fucking dark. It's not an addiction, by the way, Black Viper Cat. It's the sunk cost fallacy. I'm so close to getting a sub 3 that I need to keep going until I get it. Because quitting would be a bitch move. And I'm no bitch. Fuck! I thought I had it! Son of a bitch, dude. Brother, I cannot get 6 for the life of me. Do you think, like, Poon Poon could have changed? No, I think that's kind of like the ultimate story, right? Behind Poon Poon is that he was doomed from the fucking beginning. There was nothing he could have done to change what would happen. The best course of action would have just been to let him fucking die. If he had never met fucking the manga writer girl, none of this would have happened. He would have just been able to kill himself in peace, and none of this would have happened. That's why Poon Poon's so sad, bro. Because you start to understand, it's like, oh shit, that's why this really fucking sucks. It's because it was Depresso Espresso. That's what, like, depression is like, bro. It's like, you know, there is no way to get happy. You can't do it yourself, right? That's why actual genuine depression sucks so bad. Because it's like you can do everything that a normal person would need to make you feel happy and you'd still feel like shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. To somebody like me who's never had to go through something like that, that's so fucking crazy to me. It's so unbelievably wild that you could just go through all the things that you would need to feel happy and you just still feel like shit. And there's nothing you can do about it. That is so fucking wild, bro. How do you live like that? How do you, genuinely, how do you live like that? When everything is different shades of gray? There's no light, there's no happiness, no joy. Even the best moments are just like passable. Passably bad. Passably awful. Oh my god, dude. Exactly. He could wake up. He could go eat some fucking pizza. He could go jerk it. He could turn on stream, play Red Ball, get a sub. He could get a sub 3. He could have everything in his day go right, and he'd still feel like shit. And that's the thing. The thing is, he probably wouldn't have the motivation because he knows that he probably would still feel like shit. That's why people with depression have, like, no motivation to do anything. Because they know that no matter what they do, they're still going to feel like shit. There's no point. Poon Poon would never get a sub 3. Poon Poon would never get a sub 3. Poon Poon would never get a sub 3. It doesn't matter how much Poon Poon fucks. He's not going to feel good. Okay? Damn, that's crazy. Missing 5. Yeah, also the pretty vivid depiction of, like, sexual violence was kind of... That was dark. That was dark. I don't like that. I don't like that hypothetical, MJ. I don't like to power scale people's depression. They both had it bad, but for different reasons. Well, you're gonna do it. No, I think I talked about this in my analysis of Poon Poon. Like, the reason why Aiko is, like, such an interesting character is because she is, like, a foil to Poon Poon in a lot of ways, right? They're both sad, but they're sad for different reasons, right? Aiko's sadness is entirely external, right? She herself is not inherently sad. She's not depressed, but she's in such a shitty situation, she has no way to feel happiness, right? Because her situation is so shit, because her mother fucking sucks, and her life fucking sucks, right? But, like, and you can see it, like, the moment that Aiko is kind of freed from that, there's, like, a moment where Aiko is, like, genuinely happy and joyous, and she feels alive. Her mom is fucking dead. She feels like she's with this man who's gonna fucking save her. There's some genuine joy. And it's like, wow. And then Poon Poon is entirely internal, right? He's had a lot of things in his life go wrong, but he's also had a decent chunk of his shit go right. Okay? He met a bunch of people who genuinely care about him and like him as a friend and as a person. And he still feels like shit. So he tries to run away. He tries to start this whole new life. Because he's like, maybe this will solve it. Maybe this will make me feel happy. And guess what? It doesn't. What does it do? It almost gets him killed, and it gets the love of his life killed. Okay? It gets Aiko killed. It gets somebody else killed. That's what it does. It's a nice interpretation. I don't call it nice. Maybe it's an interesting interpretation. There's nothing nice about it. It's a fucking very depressing interpretation. But yeah, it's so fucking, like, it's crazy just to see, and it's why Poon Poon is not a good person. Because I don't care, like you cannot justify the intentional murder of somebody because you're fucking depressed, right? I don't care if you're depressed. You still killed somebody. Maybe he didn't intentionally kill her. Maybe he didn't seek out to kill her, but his actions ended up causing the death of Aiko. And he also killed somebody. He also killed the fucking mother, and whatever. But she kind of deserved it. So it's like that kind of shit. It's like that's why Poon Poon is not a good guy, and that's why he's such a sympathetic person, because he's not a good guy. But you see why he's not a good guy. And it's so sympathetic. It's so awful to see this person that you're like, he had all this potential, and he was still a shitty person at the end of the story. He still ended up just like his uncle, who's probably also a shitty person. Maybe not probably. Sorry, I shouldn't say probably. His uncle's also a shitty person. There's any way of depression? Yeah, therapy and medication. Modern science is a really great thing. Medication even do it. Changes your brain chemistry. The reason why you're depressed is because your brain doesn't let you make the fucking happiness hormone. Or something. That's a really simplistic way of explaining how it works, because I don't really know how it works, because again, I'm not a fucking scientist. But basically, there's something fucked up in your brain chemistry that doesn't let you be the way that you're supposed. It doesn't let you be happy. And so medication will, like, it seeks to fix that, right? It seeks to balance out that shit. And if medication is successful, which it has proven to be successful in many cases, then yeah, you'll be happy. Yeah, if Poon Poon had gone to therapy, seen an actual therapist, he probably would have been able to do something, but, Poon Poon was also poor. Poon Poon also came from a shitty situation where, nobody ever talked about. Therapy wasn't a thing that people talked about. It wasn't really like a thing. So, yeah, it's like, what is Poon Poon supposed to do? He's supposed to die in peace. That's what he's supposed to do. Suffer. He's supposed to suffer. And I know this shit because I know the beneficial effects of medication from a very personal first-hand experience that I'm not going to talk about because it's way too personal, and I can really go into detail, but I know that, like, medication is a fucking lifesaver, dude. I swear to God, medication is everything, bro. I'm not kidding. Medication is so fucking, like, it means everything, dude. Finding the right medication, the right dosage. That shit expensive? Yeah. That's the fucking problem, bro. It's sometimes prohibitively expensive if you don't have the right coverage. Yeah, healthcare is hard. And it sucks. Not only in America. It doesn't just suck in America. It sucks everywhere else. But in America, it sucks in a unique way. It sucks uniquely in America. Damn, how do I keep missing 5? Not me not being able to touch 6 with a fucking 5-foot hammer. Am I not going to make it past 6 once today? That'd be really crazy if I couldn't even make it past 6 on pace a single time. How depressing would that be? 2 steps forward, 1 step back type shit, you know? Finally. No, I didn't. I've been too busy editing videos, bro. I've had too much motivation to do work, MJ. That's the problem. I've decided to start reading Prison School at a really bad time because I have too much motivation to do work. I'm making progress. Every week I make a little bit of progress. I get there. You gotta trust the process, MJ, okay? It's gonna take a little bit, but we're gonna get there. Locked in syndrome? It is. I'm too locked in for this gooner shit. I'm so locked in, I don't even goon properly, bro. I literally, I will go home and I'll jack off as fast as possible just so I can focus up better. That's how you know I'm locked in. All right? When I'm jacking off for efficiency. That's how you know, bro. I get like that sometimes. I don't want to be distracted by horny thoughts, so I just lock in. All right? 1 minute later, well, a minute is a strong word, but you know, 1 minute later, I'm fully prepared for this. That's how you know, bro. Being horny is a distraction. Damn, what an awful 4 that is. Okay, well. That's not gonna go on any leaderboards. Just get me past level 6 on pace. Just once. One time for the one. One time for the one. Just get me past level 6, honestly. If I can just get past level 6. Just do the full strat, honestly. I tried to watch the latest Wolfie video. I will say, a little bit too much Pokemon battling for me. Stakes were not high enough. But Simon was in the video, and that was cool. Fucking Simon fought Wolfie on ladder. And bro kind of got diffed pretty hardcore. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's just world champ difference, I guess. Sorry I'm late. You just apologize to being late. This isn't a fucking class. You're not graded on attendance, don't worry. You'll be okay, boss. I'm sorry for being late. I want to be nice. It's not even about niceness. What? This is really crazy. It's not even about niceness. This is just, I don't know. You got me chirping, bro. You just I was having a fucking emotional conversation about fucking manga and fucking, and you just come in and you're just like going crazy. Oh, brother. It's one of those days. It's been a vibey day all day. I guess it always gets like that whenever it's a red ball. Whenever it's red ball and there's not too many people in chat, I'm always kind of just like a fucking, I'm kind of a nothing. I'm just chilling. Hey man, with those felt teeth, let's go crazy. Sure you want to send that? Twitch does not understand the vibes. Jonathan, Twitch would not like my chat room. Twitch is sexist for real. Not false? Women do be out here being a minority. Cheese parade? A parade about cheese, I would guess. If I had to use my deductive reasoning skills. Cheese parade would be a parade about cheese. What? Oh no. Oh no. I'm concerned about the video you're about to send me. Don't be concerned. I just know the kind of shit that you.
I am playing Manhunt with my friends in an effort to reconnect with my inner child. We will be running and hiding throughout the neighborhood with no regard for private property. If you see men in their 30s with no phones, wallets, or keys sprinting through your backyard screaming, "Jailbreak!" do not call the police. Please, just let us have this. I am playing Manhunt.
Seems a little bit on the nose, but I don't hate that. It's a little bit on the nose. Little bit on the nose. This feels like he feels like the kind of comedian where it's just like it's very obvious what the joke is.
Gay Street? More like Gay Street. Hi, I'm Scott Digos, and what you just saw was an advanced comedy technique. One of many I've used to gain over 1 million...
Yeah, again, it's like I get the joke, dude. I understand it. I understand why. I understand the funny. I see it. It's fine. It's just it's a little bit too on the nose for me, I think. It's this very like I don't know how to describe it. Like I get the kind of comedy. Like it's this very like even like improv-y kind of comedy where it's like it's this very like look at this joke. It's funny. Now laugh. And some of that stuff can be funny. But I think I am just so, like, fucking... My brain is so... I'm either so broken or so based that I don't, like, find that stuff as funny anymore. Maybe I'm either brain rotted or I've ascended. Okay? Love you. I enjoy a little bit of subtlety, you know? I think there's something to be said for subtlety. Like I said, it's either my brain is broken in half or I'm super omega based. And there really is no in between. Can I hit 6, please? Nope. I hate my life. Is omega based except for me? I'm just saying, it's like I think there's something to be said for subtlety. When you say the joke so hard it kind of explains itself, I mean, I feel like you've kind of lost the plot at that point, you know? What I'm saying? This is why I find a lot of the Tommy Innit humor not funny. Oh, dude, I wanted to make a video dissecting Tommy and its humor and why he is so unfunny these days. I've really wanted to do that for a while, dude. Holy shit. What a fucking sick thing that would be. An Omega, he's just an Omega. What does, okay, hold on. Okay. Speaking of Omegas, I'm like tangentially aware of like the Alpha Omega Beta thing. Because, you know, I've spent a little bit of time on fucking AO3, and so you're kind of forced to, you know, see that reality. What the fuck do all of those mean in the context of that? Like, what does that mean? Does anybody know? Is there anybody versed enough in this stuff to fucking explain this to me? Because I always got Alpha Beta, right? It's like Alpha the Chad and Beta the little pussy bitch. But I never got, like, what the fuck is the Omega doing? Why is Omega in the middle? Omega. Yeah, I don't understand what the Omega is doing in the middle. Please explain. Should I look it up? Should I look up Omegaverse? Oh boy, we could go on a fucking adventure today, lads. We could go on an adventure today. This is gonna fuck up my search history. Omegaverse is a subgenre of erotic speculative fiction where humans are categorized into a dominance hierarchy. Alphas are dominant, betas are neutral, and omegas are some... Oh, okay. I thought betas were the little bitches. Apparently omegas are the little bitches. Okay. The genre often features elements of werewolves, dominance dynamics, and male pregnancy. Thanks, AI Overview. I appreciate the fucking... Thanks, AI Overview, for explaining mpreg to me. I appreciate that, man. That's so fucking funny, bro. Oh, no. I can't read the rest of this, bro. This is actually... Common tropes include mating, scent glands, heats, and alpha ruts. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. It is just brutal. This is just... I do not like this. I'm fucking tweaking. I hate how the AI fucking Google AI overview is just like fucking... Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not! That's not... That's actually so untrue. The thing is, like, that's untrue because you know how I feel about, like, submissive people, okay? I've gone on gigantic rants about how I hate certain people for being so fucking submissive. I think that's bitch made. I've said this before. I think I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think if you're that submissive, I think that you're a pussy. And I think that you need to fucking... No, Dude, do I need to go on this rant again? Do I need to go on this rant again? We can do it. We can go on this rant again. No, I get mad because I'm so sick of seeing people who are like, oh, I'm fucking submissive. Like, take control of your life a little bit, bro. Take control of your life. Stand up and take control, okay? This is not a one-person game. Okay, you want to lay down in your fucking bed like, oh, take care of me, oh, take care of me. No, fucking lock in. Take care, like, this is a two-person game, okay? Intercourse is not a one-person activity, it's a two-person activity. I don't care what the dominance dynamics are, okay? You can't just expect somebody to fucking, like, protect you and be perfect, okay? Fucking lock in. I hate it. I hate it. Just feels like it feels like such a little bitch thing. Like, you need to lock in and you need to focus on making sure that you're getting what you need, and you need to make sure you're helping other people get what they need, because that's what humans do. Okay? You're not gonna sit there like a fucking lump on a log. Okay? You're gonna actively lock in. You're gonna actively lock in. So no, I'm not an Omega. Okay? I'm not. I'm a fucking... I wouldn't describe myself as any of those three. Who could have thought that simplistic explanations of people are oftentimes unfit to fully describe the complexities of human beings. Who could have imagined that? Okay, and? That still doesn't mean I'm not trying to, I'm not actively trying to help out here, okay? No, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm saying that you can be fucking submissive and you can still actively try to help out, right? You can still actively, you know, try to make things more pleasurable for the other party involved, okay? That's all I'm saying, okay? I feel like you can also lock in. Dude, I'm actually getting blasted. Like, this is actually the Sheepo 3 version of Brain Rot. You guys have done it. You know what? Fine. You guys win. You've created fucking Brain Rot for me. This chat has created their own version of fucking Brain Rot. I can't fucking stand you people. You all suck. Some of these motherfuckers, bro. I hear things. Alright? If you're only submissive, if that's all you can do, at least be a switch. Okay? At least be a fucking switch. Like, all you can do is fucking lay there and be like, oh, fucking, I don't know. At least switch. At least switch, okay? Some people are too deep in the freak for them to be even legible, okay? Some people are so deep in the freaky shit that it's like, you're like, I can't even talk to you like a person. Okay, this is the problem with like getting too deep in the freak, bro. I've proclaimed the values of being freaky, but there's also a point where it goes too far. And at some point you're just like, you're not even legible as a human being. When you get that deep in freaky shit. I feel like Hisuian Typhlosion is a very niche mon. Maybe I could be crazy, but it feels super niche. I'm not being homophobic. What? Is that homophobic? Oh no, don't get me started on fucking kink at Pride. Don't get me started on fucking kink at Pride, bro. I hate that shit. I've always hated that shit. I've always hated that shit since day one. If that's homophobic, then boy, alright, it's totally related. Okay, but I will rail against that shit 100%, bro. You can be gay and not be a fucking freaky ass frog. These two things can be mutually exclusive. No! Why can't I hit 9 for a fucking life of... Dude, I can't hit 6. I can't. Why can't I hit 6 today? 6 is fucking broken. It's a broken level. Let me hit 6. One time. What does a brother gotta do? What a horrible day it's been for runs. There's just no happiness for somebody like me. Only 2 seconds behind? Okay, well. There is a chance. And then I get a really good boxes off the second. I hate my life, dude. Oh, it was so good. If I just didn't have to reset. Imagine how sick it would be, bro. Even slower than second cycle. It's like 4th cycle. 5th cycle. This run's cooked. Even a decent car, dude. That is just a... That is a heartbreaker for sure. Yeah. Damn it. Not really. I just have nothing to talk about. The conversation ended. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to talk anymore about... We've gone so deep in the freak, bro. We went so deep into being freaky, I had to be anti-freaky. That's how freaky it was, bro. That's how crazy this is, bro. When you got Sheepo 3 going against Freak, that's how you know. You've gone in too deep. Let's joke a bit. What's the deal with... What's the deal with... one-way streets? A lot of one-way streets in my city. I don't like them. They're not good. I don't know if that's really a joke, but it's just something I wanted to say. What's the deal with fucking one-way streets? They suck. They're actually pretty good. I just said they suck. They suck for cars. Specifically, they suck for cars. For bicycles and for pedestrians, one-way streets are great. They make the entire city so much safer to traverse on foot and on bike. For cars, they suck. For bikes, oh my god, they're fantastic. Having to only watch for traffic from one direction, oh my god, it's amazing. What a great thing. Sheep, tell me a little bit about American folklore. Ooh, I did take AP US history, so. Do I remember a single damn thing from that high school class that I took? How long was it ago? 6 years ago? I don't know if I remember a damn thing. There is a guy who ran for president 4 times. He failed at all of them, but he was a senator for like, I think 6 decades. He was a senator for 6 decades. He ran for president like 4 or 5 times. He didn't win it a single time. He never was the president. But he was a goated senator. Legends? Oh, what's a good legend? I'm trying to think of the names. Johnny Appleseed. That's a good one. You guys know Johnny Appleseed? John Henry, yeah. I always remember Johnny Appleseed. So the story of Johnny Appleseed. It's because John used to be a very popular name back in fucking the Wild West. The Wild West. Back when America was kind of being colonized, right? Back when we had just bought land, like Louisiana Purchase type shit. Paul Bunyan, oh hell yeah. And so a lot of American folklore is kind of centered around people who are like clearing out land or colonizing places. That's where a lot of American folklore is kind of centered around. It's why Johnny Appleseed is kind of a figure in American folklore. Johnny Appleseed the story is that Johnny Appleseed is a fucking guy who walks around with giant fucking bags of apple seeds on his back, and he's just obscenely strong, and he just passes out apples, and he just creates fucking apple orchards everywhere. That's his entire gig. He just gives out fucking apple seeds so people can grow apple trees. That's his entire thing. He just does fucking apples. He just passes out apples, bro. Pretty sick. I remember Native war chiefs. Yeah, back when we were fighting the Native Americans and stealing their land and shit. Crazy Horse. I read a book about Crazy Horse. General, the War General Crazy Horse. There's a lot of mystique around Native Americans because Native Americans were basically, like, especially nowadays, Native Americans are seen as the good guys because they were basically fighting, like, they were fighting guns with bows and arrows, okay? Yeah, Sitting Bull. They were fighting guns with bows and arrows on horseback, okay? It was just not a fair fight. It was not a fair fight. But in the very few victories that the Indians did get, or the Native Americans, I shouldn't say Indian, that's insensitive. The very few victories that they got, you know, it's still talked about a lot. They did not almost win. There was no almost winning. They got, if my history serves me correctly, the Native Americans got omega fucking diffed. It was not really a battle. Like, basically the real problem that the Native Americans had with the American settlers is that they were trying to build fucking railroad tracks through their land. And the reason why that would suck is because it would stop the natural, like, migration of the buffalo herds. And if there's no buffalo herds, then the Native Americans can't really, like, live. They kind of live off the buffalo. The buffalo are the most important things, right? And so, well, it's like they weren't like any time that the American Indians faced off against the fucking U.S. Army, they got omega diffed. When they were facing off against fucking, like, cowboys and fucking, like, a ragtag group of people, yeah, okay, I can see that. But when they're going up against the army, they 9 times out of 10 got fucking, they were getting shit on. Yeah, the Transcontinental Railroad that was built off of the backs of unpaid immigrant labor, mainly Chinese. Battles. No, the army had to clear them out of land multiple times. If you, man, I could look this up, but they're like, I know for a fact that there were multiple times that the U.S. Army had to forcefully clear Indians off their land, and it was not pretty. Even if they didn't use, like, fucking cholera-infested blankets to get them all sick and kill them all. Shout out to Columbus. I didn't read your message. I was too busy talking about how the Indians were getting fucking destroyed by guns and shit. It was the Transcontinental Railroad, and they didn't paint it pink, blue, and what's the other color? Pink, blue, and another color, another green, blue, green. Pink, baby blue, and some other blue. Is it white? It might be white. I haven't looked at the trans flag in a while, believe it or not. Not something I actively look at all that much. I don't have the mandatory trans flag in my room like every other trans person does, okay? Is it mandatory? If you become trans, you have to have the trans flag? They do! I swear to God! My brother has a gigantic trans flag. And I know it's on one of his walls. I know it's on one of his walls in his fucking dorm room. I know, dude. Every other trans person has a giant fucking trans flag in their room, dude. It's like every fucking trans person ever. I'm not kidding. Sheep is trans. Other? I'm saying other trans person. What? You want me to... How else would I describe other trans people? I guess other implies that I am also a trans person. I guess that you can get that interpretation. Hold on. U.S. Army vs. American Indian Wars. They were fought on the frontier. In the 1780s, the War of 1812, where a major Indian coalition against the Midwestern United States fought against the United States and lost. Conflict with settlers became less common and was usually resolved by treaties, which forced tribes to settle. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The Indians got Omega Diff. The Indian Removal Act. What a crazy thing to name an act. The Indian Removal Act of 1830. They just got fucking removed. That is wild. The Indian tribes and coalitions often won battles with encroaching settlers and soldiers, but their victories were too few and their resources too limited to win more than a temporary victories. Exactly. That's kind of what it was. It was like, yeah, you might win a battle, but like you are facing the overwhelming might of the United States. Unfortunately, you're not going to win that. Okay? It's not going to go well for you, buddy. All right, one more pass 3 and we call it a day. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's basically what happened. They just said, we're going to get rid of you. That's why so many modern day Indians that live in America are hard addicted to, like, cocaine. The actual modern rebirth of modern Indians has actually been through gambling. A lot of American Indian tribes own big casinos, and that's how they've able to become profitable again, or be able to become powerful in Monopoly. They owned a bunch of casinos, bro, because they were stuck on plantations where like they literally couldn't live because the plantations were basically like slums. It's really sad. Dude, I can't beat 9 today. Oh, sorry, I said 9. I can't beat 6 today. Yeah, it's the plight of the American Indian is it's a sad story for sure. There's very little happy about that. History is often not very pretty. Yeah, if like the basic story is that basically the Indian tribes basically ruled over the land except for the 13 original colonies, and for a while, like so after the Revolutionary War, basically. So pre-Revolutionary War, basically a bunch of colonizers came in, they established a bunch of colonies. Those eventually turned into the 13 original colonies, plus like some stuff down in like Cuba, South America, but we don't really talk about that because this is American history. So the American 13 original colonies, they coalesced together, fought for independence, they got their independence, and so now they own themselves. They basically started to slowly push Indians. They started to encroach on Indian land very like aggressively over time, until eventually they signed a treaty with the Indians that said, hey, we're going to take this land, you're going to take this land, and we're not going to fight anymore. And then they proceeded to break that treaty, force the Indians out of their land by basically fucking diffing them in a war. They bought a bunch of land in the Louisiana Purchase. That was Thomas Jefferson, I believe, who did the Louisiana Purchase. Thomas Jefferson, third president, he makes the Louisiana Purchase, buys a ton of land, tries to manifest destiny. He gets really close to manifest destiny from ocean to ocean. That's what manifest destiny means, ocean to ocean. We own land from ocean to ocean. So he buys a bunch of land through the Louisiana Purchase. All that land is owned by Indians. They get fucking mega forced out. They get sent to basically reservations, which is land set aside for Indian tribes. That land is not only dog shit land with no natural resources, and be very tiny and not big enough for all the Indian tribes. So they get forced into a ton of reservations, and basically, yeah, it just becomes slums. And that's kind of what happens for the majority of history with the American Indians. They just get mega diffed. Yes, it was basically just genocide. I haven't even talked about the Trail of Tears, okay? That was just like the Trail of Tears was just a more fancy way of saying, oh, we just committed more genocide. Oh, that was a really fun part. So Andrew Jackson was the 10th president in U.S. history. Andrew Jackson basically was trying to do what Americans always did, which was take land away from... basically, the Indians were placed on reservations. Andrew Jackson said, I actually want that land. I want to send these Indians to different reservations. He tried to get the Supreme Court of the United States to back him. The literal Supreme Court said, hey, Andrew Jackson, you're not allowed to take these Indians off their reservations. You signed a deal, or America signed a deal. We can't go back on that deal. Andrew Jackson said, fuck you, I don't care. He forced the Indians off their land anyway, and he sent them to different reservations through a giant fucking, basically a giant Nazi fucking death march. He sent them on a giant fucking Nazi death march to basically walk to their new reservations. A ton of motherfuckers died during it. Very, very fucking depressing shit. Okay? It's called the Trail of Tears, because a ton of people died and cried. Yeah. It was not very nice. Is how I could best describe it. It was not nice. Not cool, man. Because of money. Because the only people who had power to think it was messed up didn't have enough power or money. Remember, this was an entirely executive action, by the way. So, entirely executive action. This is basically just the executive branch going totally out of its way to just take control. Totally unconstitutionally, by the way. This is a totally unconstitutional maneuver. This was not allowed. Very illegal. And now the American Indians survive by owning casinos. And you know what? Owning casinos have done a lot of good for the fucking tribes. Because now they make buku bucks, bro. The tribes make buku bucks off fucking gambling. Shout out to gambling, bro. And that's the end of and that's the moral of the story. Gambling is always the end goal for all good things. Gambling. Start wasting your money now. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. It's been fun. Man, what an awful day to play Red Ball. But unfortunately, hey, that's how it goes. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Maybe we'll get better on Tuesday. Either way, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. But I've got to get out of here. Peace. Bye.